Previously in part 1 you saw me prepare the outside area by ripping up the old decking. I was hoping in this episode I was going to lay all the porcelain tiles, including all the cutting, but like most jobs it's bigger than you think. So it's day 2. I've just come back from the tip twice. It took me twice to fill the mini up with all the wood, but that's all gone now, so it's really now making it back up, which you always feel better when you start doing that. I think the mission for today would be to fill in on this right hand side the gaps in the concrete that I've got. So I just need to mix a bit of concrete up and then spend quite a bit of time on marking the levels front to back and side to side. Hopefully I'll be able to actually lay today maybe the first tile on the bottom right hand corner, because that's going to just set everything off then. I have a few challenges because obviously the bottom line is the height of the new patio area is dictated by the concrete that's there. I'm not digging all it up, it's just too much to take up. The damp course is here, so obviously you can't go above that, and you need to be, I think it's recommended there's a good distance that you need to be below that. With porcelain tiles you normally put 30 to 40 millimeters. I'm not going to be able to do that, so I'll probably have to put maybe 20 mil of mortar underneath if I can get away with that. Yes, I know what you're all thinking, that's one small shovel I have. To be honest, I feel like one of Snow White's mates. So I'm just trying to run up, these are 40 mil thickness. I mean, the mortar is going to be pretty skinny, I have to say. I just hope that's going to be okay, but these are 40 mil blocks. So I'm just running a level from here to here. I'm coming tile width out. I want to run a line down there, so that will be the line edge of the first row of tiles. So I'm just trying to position these in the right sort of place. So the tiles looks like they're about 605. I want to have a little bit of a gap this end so I can put some grout down, but I don't want to come too far away from the wall. So if I got it right, I'm going to do about 610. So 605 for the tile and a 5 mil grout. I think that will be enough. I might give it just a little bit more. So I'm just going to put a small screw there on that line, and my string will be attached to that. Okay, so that's going to be the edge of the tile. Got to do similar to the other end now. Okay, so I'll put a string that runs down the edge of the wall, because that's when I position this post here. It was dead line with that, so I know that's accurate, and it is. I'm just going to use this temporary, just try and get and measure something solid. And I'm going to measure same distance here. So I think about this. That's my 40 mil. It's a bit rough all over the place there. I also need to measure it this way. That's vertical. And then I need to get a line from there, again 40 mil, and it is falling this way slightly, so it's coming slightly this way and slightly that way. Okay, so I've now got a line running across the width, and that falls from the wall over there back this way, and then I've got 2 lines here and here running that way for the first row. So time to mix. I'm just going to lay the one slab first of all. I want to work out how much stuff I need per item. So It's a 5-to-1 mix with sharp sand and cement for the mortar. I'm going to put a bit of plasticizer in it just to make it a bit more workable and stronger, hopefully. So on the porcelain tile itself, you've got to make sure you prime it on the underside. So that's got a certain mix on it. They're all slightly different. So that's a slurry mix that you put on that will bond it to the mortar. Okay, that's that done. So this is about half a kilogram of the primer, and the mix, if I've got the ratio right. Now you don't want to get this on the front of your slab, so if you do, on the ceramic part, you need to wipe it off immediately with plain water. It's going to stain it and stick like glue. So but in general that went down alright, in fairness. What did work well is I got these, it's probably quite expensive there. I bought this system that's basically got the, you can get them in different widths. These are 3mm packers. To be honest, they're coming out a bit more than that, but as long as it's constant, I don't mind. So you get these 3mm packers here that you put between the tiles, and then what you do is you put this wedge, and then there's a tool that basically squeezes and pulls the tiles up so they're perfectly level. So that actually worked out really well, and they're quite simple to use. You literally put it on there like that. Get this right, that way around. And then when you pull up on it, basically it pushes the wedges and obviously forces the this spacer up, pulls the two tiles together. So it's quite clever, really. So today is more of the same, I'm afraid. Got to get to around about 30 tiles down. I won't get them all done today, but if I can get probably 5 or 6 down today, that'll be a good day. So that's the end of the second day of laying the tiles. I had a bit of a problem in the second row. This and this isn't quite 90 degrees, and the problem is there's some concrete there. So I'm desperately not wanting to cut a tile at the end there. So a bit of a problem there, so I had to start messing around with the gaps. So not quite as neat as I want them, but as I say, it is what it is. So the other thing you'll notice that I'm mixing up small batches, really enough for one tile at a time. I'm doing that purposely for my back. I think if you were doing it and you didn't have a bad back, you could obviously get a board and knock up maybe enough for 3 or 4 tiles in one go. My back just can't take it. I have to keep moving, so I'd rather just do one at a time. That way it suits me. But I'm going to need loads more sand and cement. It's almost a bag of sharp sand per tile, and then a bag of 25 kilograms cement will probably do 6, I reckon, slabs, maybe a bit more. So I can sit down and work out how many more to order, because I keep ordering and paying for extra delivery. get to about 4 o'clock and I'm done. My back goes, it doesn't go, my back stiffens up. I've also got a short shovel, which doesn't help. I asked the kids for the shovel. I don't know why I chose a shovel, but it's for shovel for confined spaces. Perhaps I'm going to go coal mining in my old age, I don't know. I'm a bit nervous about the cutting because I don't have any much leeway for error on that. And also I don't want to really kick up loads of dust, so I need to do it down the bottom of the garden and get some water on it, I guess, as I'm cutting it. Just do it slowly, I reckon. I'm trying to reduce the cuts because I was going to do a staggered pattern, but that means I'm going to have more cuts, so I've decided no, just make it simple. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Just get to the point where I've got to cut down the edges, and if I've got to do that, I've got to do that. I have to say the plasticizer for an amateur makes a huge difference, although it's quite weird when you mixing the concrete up, because I had a problem today where it was so wet I had to add some more stuff to it. What happens is you put the plasticizer on you and you don't notice it, and all of a sudden as part of the mixing it suddenly goes, and if you've got too much water in there it really goes. But what it does do, it makes it silky smooth, and it makes it so easy to turn over in the bucket but also to lay out and that. So and I suspect it maybe doesn't dry out as fast as well. So my advice, although again there's another extra cost there, I think that's well worth doing. I didn't realise how good that was. Years ago when I was with my father-in-law, he was a builder on all sorts of contracts he used to do. He used to use fairy liquid. I don't know what the difference is between fairy liquid and that. He's obviously that sort of I think it's sicker I've got. It also makes it more waterproof. Not that it's going to get in with water here, but yeah, fairy liquid. I don't know whether any builders out there still use fairy liquid, but I do know it actually gives the same effect where it sort of makes it very smooth and silky, the mix. Well, 4 o'clock, time for a shower. I can't do any more. I tend to do some DIY during the day, and then I edit at night up to about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I seem to have replaced work with work. I guess it's a bit more enjoyable in fairness. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. Status of play today, I've got those 2 tiles I've just put in where the cones are to stop Jane stepping down on it. So there's those 2 gone in. All of these are all going off basically, and I've just laid the last tile at the end there. So all of this here, so all of this along here, this wall here has all got to be cut in. Some of them are just straight cuts, but others I've got to get round things like the posts and piping there. So those are going to be a bit of a double cut, and then along the edge there's a small cut, and here I've got to cut a couple of tiles there. So a lot more cutting than I could do without, to be honest, but it is what it is. I've way underestimated the amount of sand and cement I needed, so that delayed. It's taken several days to get to this position. I had to wait for more stuff to arrive. Basically every porcelain tile was taking 1 bag of sand, sharp sand, and then a 5-to-1 mix of cement. So a cement bag was, I think it was probably doing about 6 to 7 tiles at a guess. So I'll see you in the next episode where I'll be cracking on with cutting the tiles. But will I be cracking the tiles, which is more to the point?